On today's Michigan Football Report, we are going to turn the page on 2024. Well, not really, but we're going to look at Bryce Underwood, the number one quarterback in the 2025 class. What needs to shake out here over the next year plus for Michigan to land this potentially generational quarterback recruit who's 20, 30 minutes right down the road from Michigan Stadium. Then I'm also going to talk some spring football thoughts and talk about some 2023 stat predictions around JJ McCarthy and others. So you're going to like today's show. But before we dive into it, I did want to ask you guys a favor, and a favor for me to help push some audience towards our new channel, a favor for you to get more content here on YouTube. Chat Sports has launched a new NFL Draft show on a new NFL Draft YouTube channel. You can go to youtube.com/chatNFL. It's going to be jam-packed with NFL draft coverage, mock drafts. We look at mock drafts from all the Mel Kipers and ESPN and the Athletic, etc. We also talk you through the big boards, project where Michigan football players are going to be drafted, and look at the Lions and other teams where their 7-round mock drafts are shaking out. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'll put the link down in the comments and the description of today's show. But Michigan Football Report is presented by Rhone. That's RHONE. I am rocking the Commuter Collection by Rhone, and I absolutely love it. Go to rhone.com/chatsports for 20% off your order. It is the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. Let's get things rolling right now. Put out for a little call for questions on our Instagram account yesterday, and we got quite a few that I want to dive into from Mabalosern, if I'm pronouncing that, Mabalosern, pronouncing that incorrectly. It's a tough name to pronounce. He asked, will we finally see more focus on the passing game season? And I like this hashtag he's using. It's Let JJ Cook. Let's take a look at that question on today's show. It is the Michigan football burning questions. I took the best 6 or 7 questions from dozens we received on the Instagram account yesterday to make sure you guys know what's going on around recruiting and this football program. So if you guys want to be involved in a future show, I think Instagram might be the spot where we do all of our Q&As because it's so easy to just kind of swipe up and do that question and answer. The next 15 people to follow the brand new Instagram account, it's at Michigan Football Report on Instagram. Next 15 people at Tuesday afternoon around 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Going forward, 15 people to follow. I will follow you back. It's at Michigan Football Report. Link is down in the comments and the description of today's video. Let's go back to that question on JJ McCarthy. We're going to see Michigan focus on the passing game this season. Let JJ cook. Look, I don't think that Michigan's going to turn into an air raid offense, although I do think they've got the talent from Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson, JJ McCarthy, Donovan Edwards, and how about the transfer tight end from Indiana? How about Colson Loveland? They've got 5-6 pass catchers that they can trust, although the backups, the third or fourth wide receiver, I'm kind of not sold on just yet. But what McCarthy got the opportunity to do is shine under a pass-first offense this spring with Edwards and Corum out, and I think you can expect more passing, if not, pass heavy. I don't think Michigan's going to just change the philosophy, what's been successful this past year. But what we can expect from McCarthy, in this 2023 season is, one, I think they'll keep him in games a little bit longer, right? This past year, he was pulled out of games way too early, especially early on in the season when he could have padded some stats just a little bit. Also, I do think Michigan will get more aggressive passing the ball in the red zone, somewhere where they really struggled last year. And really up until the Purdue game and then, the TCU game, really had almost no success the entire year. Think about the Ohio State game. Those are all long touchdowns. The only touchdown they got in the red zone, it was McCarthy himself running in from 3 yards out and just 3 yards out and just crashing in to the Ohio State defensive line. I am projecting these stats for JJ McCarthy this season. On the left side of your screen, you see his 2022 stats. 64% passing, 208 for 322, 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 5 picks, average about 194 yards per game. This coming season, I think I'm going to up the production there. I've got 68 more passes, so roughly 4 to 5 more passes per game, projecting these over a 15-game season. 3,300 yards will break the Michigan record for 31 passing touchdowns in a season. Throw a couple more picks, but average 221.7 yards per game. Those are my predictions for JJ McCarthy. I want to hear what you guys think. So go down in the comment section. I will pin this comment below the video. You guys let me know how many passing touchdowns will JJ McCarthy have this season in 2023. The Michigan football program record is 25. I'm projecting 31. Let me know down in the comments. While you're down there commenting, I want to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Roan. Get 20% off your order at roan.com/chatsports. Guys, I'm sure many of you are just like me. You've got social life. You've got parenting responsibilities. You want to go on a date. If you don't have parenting responsibilities, you even hit the golf course, sometimes while on company time. Well, I've got the solution to the hassle of changing clothes between your daily activities. It's the Commuter Collection from Roan. Athletic dress pants, shirts, and apparel. Rome helps you get ready for any occasion with the Commuter Collection. They've got shirts, they've got dress pants, they've got quarter zips and polos. You never have to worry about what you're going to wear when you wear the Roan Commuter Collection. I've told you guys about this. I've gone to the office, then a business meeting, then grabbed drinks after work, then Jack, what did we do last week? Went to the movies. I was rocking my Roan shirt last Thursday. We went and saw the movie Air. It's time to feel confident without the hassle. With Roan's wrinkle release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch and wear their products. It's that easy. And Gold Fusion anti-odor technology. It leaves you smelling fresh and clean all day long. And on top of that, folks, 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner altogether. I love the comfort, flexibility of a Roan shirt, the Roan pants. I'm wearing the pants here from the Commuter Collection. I've got the Roan shirt. This thing was completely wrinkled when I put it on about an hour ago when we came here to film this show. You put it on, the wrinkles just disappear with Roan. I could put a sports jacket on it. I could put a tie. Hell, roll up the sleeves, make it a little casual. I love the Commuter Collection from Roan. Head to roan.com/chatsports. Use promo code chatsports, no spaces, promo code chatsports to get 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order. RHONE.com/chatsports. Use that promo code chatsports. It's time to find your corner office comfort. Question from Gray5001. Do you think we keep Jessie Minter and Sherrone Moore past this upcoming season? Which is a very valid question. I actually like this one a lot because Michigan's had a 2-year run of a very stable coaching staff. Now, we lost Matt Weiss for whatever reasons there, and Mike McDonald left after one season, went to the Baltimore Ravens, but Minter kind of backfilled him. Same defensive philosophy. Both grew up with the Ravens staff. Sherrone Moore is a likely candidate for a head coaching job after this season. Probably was after this, the 2022 season, but he'll be the main and the only offensive coordinator in 2023. Jessie Minter, I thought that he would, potentially only be one and done as well. So where I'm putting these guys coming back in 2024. So after this season, I've got Sherrone Moore at 60%. Why 60%? Well, I think he's kind of becoming Jim Harbaugh's right-hand man. He's going to have the chance to open things up on offense and be the main guy. And also, there's probably a little bit of him that says, well, Harbaugh has just flirted with the NFL 2 years in a row. What's to stop him a third year in a row? Or maybe a couple years down the line of either going back to the NFL or, hell, even retiring as Harbaugh nears 60 years of age. You never know if he's going to want to kind of hang it up as he gets into his 60s. Moore might stick around for a couple more years, turn down other jobs if they're not big top 15 or 20 style college football jobs to be the coach in waiting at some point at Michigan. I put Minter at 40%. Math, if you guys know how percentages work, if you've got two things with percentages on, you multiply them together, that says there is about a 24% chance of both returning. I hope I'm wrong because I like the continuity that both those guys bring to this program. Help us out if you like this show, if you've enjoyed what the Michigan Football Report has brought to your life in any way as a Michigan football fan. Recommend it to a friend. Take that link right there, assuming you yourself are subscribed. Send it to a friend. The link's down in the comments and the description of the video, so you want to go down and copy paste it if that's easier. YouTube.com/Michigan TV, or hell, just hit that share button, text it to your buddies and say, hey, watch this show. If you like it, subscribe to the channel. Did want to tell you guys too, on Friday, we will be back with a live show, 2 p.m. Eastern on Friday. We are going to fill this helmet up. We got about 40 stickers that we owe. We're going to put on for Friday's show, and then I've got 3 more helmets. Going to toss the Michigan football helmets on these hard hats. So if you guys want to be part of the show, join on Friday. We'll tell you how you can get your name on the end screen of our off-season video, and if you want to get on the hard hat of every single live Michigan Football Report this entire off-season and into the 2023 season, which will end in January in Houston with a national championship. Next question coming in from that guy Tony, _guy_Tony over on Instagram. He says, are we out of the running for Bryce Underwood? And it's a timely question. Jadyn Davis committed a week ago from Friday, and Bryce Underwood is the top quarterback in the 2025 class. Can Michigan land back-to-back 5-star quarterbacks? done very rarely. I'm not sure if Michigan's actually ever done true 5-star guys, right? They've had Brandon Peters and then Dylan McCaffrey. If you think way back, they had Chad Henne, and prior to him was Clayton. I can't remember the guy's name. He was the pitcher, ended up playing for the Cubs, and prior to him was Matt Gutierrez, but never a true 5-star guys. Bryce Underwood is a unquestioned 5-star, and Jadyn Davis is 5-star by most service, 6-star in the JY365. Could they land both guys? Well, here's what I think needs to happen. If JJ McCarthy returns for the 2024 season, I would put my money on Bryce Underwood being the leader of the 2025 Michigan football recruiting class. Now, why is that? It's because he wouldn't be necessarily at a disadvantage on the field if Jadyn Davis were to be a true freshman starter in 2024. Underwood might think, well, hey, I'm already behind it, especially if Michigan has a successful season in 24 with a true freshman quarterback. But if JJ McCarthy returns, right, if he comes back for his senior season in 24, that means at best Jadyn Davis is the backup. And he gets an extra semester. Maybe he graduates early, maybe a full year. But both those guys, January 2025, after the 2024 season, McCarthy's done. He's on to the NFL. They both have spring practice, right? Underwood will undoubtedly enroll early. They have spring practice of 2025, all summer long, all fall camp. I don't think Underwood would be a disservice, sitting behind or competing for the job. And if he lost it, he still could have the next spring as well to compete going into his second year. If he lost that again, then okay, of course, Jadyn Davis is the better player, and maybe Bryce Underwood then says after the spring practice, after his freshman season, he doesn't have the job yet. Boom, he can transfer. No downside for him. And so I think the upside of being the quarterback at Michigan, which I believe he wants to do, is still there. But it may just come down to JJ McCarthy returning and not putting Bryce Underwood at a disadvantage to a starter in Jadyn Davis, who might start in the 2024 season when, of course, Underwood is still in high school. As I mentioned a moment ago, join us live 2 p.m. on Friday. We will be live for our post-spring recap. We're going to do the offensive depth chart, the defensive depth chart. We're going to dive into some transfer portal news and rumors out there and talk Michigan football recruiting, as I mentioned. Get on the helmet. I want to give a few shout-outs here. Back Road Blue with a couple hundred spots. Brad Bootgereit, Javier Gregson, Jacksonville Zoe, Robert Davis, Charles Kennenbrew, John Blaze, the $200 super chat, Mike K, Cool Moti, G Calendar, Cruiser for Show, Chad Ode, Jim Prindable, Cody Monfort, Rock City, Matthew Spence. We're all these super chats, I think it was quite a few on there. We know a bunch of stickers to a few people, but I think those are all the individual folks who super chatted $15 or more on that last show for the Jadyn Davis commitment on March 31st. Mab Key, is that how I'm pronouncing this one? Where did it go? It's M-A-B Key, Mab Key 22 on Instagram. Asked me, which side of the ball will be better statistically this season? Interesting conundrum, because I think most Michigan fans say, oh, it's the defense. Of course, it's the defense. Jim Harbaugh doesn't run a high, potent offense. Michigan doesn't run with the Clemsons and the Alabamas and the Ohio States and the USCs of the world. But don't they? Take a look at last year's stats compared the offense and the defense in 2021. Where Michigan maybe is a back is they don't run up the yards, right? They don't put up huge yardage numbers. They don't pass for 500-600 yards. Well, last year was probably because they were the game were blowouts for the most part, except for the Illinois game. But they still the number 24 offense in the country compared to 6th for defense in yards. Scoring, though, 6th best scoring team in the country in college football. I bet you didn't realize that. Passing, number 83, has got to improve, got to be more of a threat. Rushing, number 5 compared to number 7 on defense. And then turnovers, Michigan had the 5th fewest turnovers in college football and only created the 69th. Nice on the defensive side of the ball. So more consistent numbers, all top 20 there you saw on defense, but the offense has some opportunity. So I don't think it's crazy to think if Michigan lets JJ cook, as we talked about at the top of the show, gets a little more aggressive inside the red zone with passing the ball. And, of course, you don't have Jake Moody to rely on from the field goal perspective. So Michigan might have to try to score touchdowns more where they would settle for field goals from time to time in the 2022 and, of course, the 2021 season. I don't think it's crazy that the offense could outperform the defense statistically. I think it's going to be a top 2 or 3 scoring offense for sure. And the one area is passing offense and how that translates into total offense. And if they can increase that passing offense by 25, 30, 40 yards a game, and that 40 yards is probably quite a stretch. I think that's a top 5 yardage offense for sure, and they're right up there with the stats the defense has put up the last 2 seasons. But let me know what you guys think. Who will be better statistically? And the stats that we showed you, total offense, scoring offense, passing, or total, yards, I should say, not offense, but total scoring, passing, defense, and turnovers, if you want to throw that one out there as well, next year. The offense or the defense better statistically in the NCAA. Give me an O or a D for the offense or the defense. Let me know down below. Keep it rolling. The statistical projections for this season are intriguing. If you look at it objectively, you would say that Michigan's offense should be the best in college football, right? Of the top 10 offenses coming back from a yards and scoring perspective, there's like 2 or 3 that return a starting quarterback. USC, I think, is the only one with a more proven quarterback coming back this year, but we know we're going to get from Alabama potentially if they figure out the quarterback role. Ohio State is always up there, the best offense in the country. Michigan has something those teams don't, and that is a proven quarterback, 2 superstar proven running backs, multiple year starters at wide receiver, and probably the best tight end combo in all of college football. You pair that with 2 deep at every position of the offensive line, it would be an absolute shame if this offense wasn't top 5 in total yards, scoring, of course rushing, but get that passing yards from the 80s, got to be up in the top 20, 25 for passing, and I'm expecting and hoping that Michigan does, because I think that's the recipe that they need to win a national championship. James Horton, MN, maybe he's from Minnesota, 32. He says, do you collab with brands? I would love to work with you. We do. If you guys see, we collab with a bunch of brands. Roan today on the show, Manscaped on our show coming out in a couple days. We do. If you want to work with us, James, we'd appreciate it. We'd love to hear from you. Our agency, you can email them right there, chatsports@thoughtleaders.io. I'll put that link to that email address down at the end of the first paragraph of the description. I'll put it down in the comments as well. But screenshot that, chatsports@thoughtleaders.io. Contact us if you want to work with us and collab on the product that you're working with. Another question coming in from James is, are you worried about how the offense looked in the spring game? It was a little rudimentary. I thought JJ McCarthy looked, maybe he didn't put up passing stats, and people in the comments said, JJ threw an interception. He didn't look great. I thought JJ's swagger and confidence looked good, more than maybe the limited passing opportunities. He was in the white jersey, so nobody could hit him. So you get what you're going to get out of a spring game from a returning starting quarterback. But I'm not upset. I'm not concerned with what the offense looked like in the spring. Right? You're down, you're starting 2 running backs. You're still waiting for 2 or 3 guys to come in the transfer portal. A couple offensive linemen that transferred in from Stanford didn't participate, et cetera, et cetera. But thinking forward, less than 5 months now from the start of the season, Jim Harbaugh and this offense, they need to fire on all cylinders on offense for the 2023 season. That means score as many points as you can. Drop 70 a couple times in the teams, right? Don't get a 3 or 4 point score lead. You're up 31-3 at halftime against some schmuck team like Rutgers and Nebraska, and you just kind of take things to pedal off the metal, take JJ McCarthy out of the game. This offense has the opportunity to be one of the great offenses in the history of the Big Ten. And if they play the cards right, why can't this be a similar offense like 2005 USC with Lendale White and Reggie Bush? Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, Matt Leinart, okay. Is J.J. McCarthy as talented? I don't know. Leinart won the Heisman Trophy the year before, but he could be. Offensive line, I would give Michigan. Tight end, I would probably give Michigan. Wide receiver, USC probably still. But this is a generational type offense. The level of talent returning to this program, I don't think Michigan's going to see for years, if ever. And Jim Harbaugh and the offensive coaching staff just cannot blow it. You cannot kind of revert to the 2021 Cade McNamara offense. Fire on all cylinders. I think we'll be happy with how this 2023 season shakes out. Did you make it to the end of the video? If you did, you are part of the squad. First 10 people to comment squad will get a shout out to start Friday's live show. So go down in the comments, type squad if you made it to the end of today's Michigan Football Report. We will have a video for you again on Wednesday or Thursday, but then the full hour and a half, 2 hour live show Friday at 2 p.m. So make sure you guys join us. You're watching it. Go down in the comments and type squad below. I will see you guys back in a day or two. Until then, go blue.